No, 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 no. And we're back. And we're back.
Yeah. All right, so we're back. Yes, it has been many, many months since we have done anything on the RC8 SUPERDUKE swap build, and I just want to explain what's going on so you guys don't think the build is dead or what the heck is going on with bells. We need to know. I get messages every single day of you guys saying, where's the content? We need to see more. We need to see more. I just want to address the elephant in the room and let you guys know that the build is still going on. All this time that I haven't been filming, or should I say I've been filming, I have 300 hours of film and video that I can't use, or I can use, but I don't want to bore you guys with a lot of mistakes that were made, failures and obstacles that we've had to overcome just to complete this build the right way. We want this bike to be like a factory built bike, like KTM would build this bike today if they still made the RC8. The biggest three problems that you fight with doing a third gen, or should I say any SUPERDUKE swapped RC8, is the airbox, the speed sensor rings and getting the electronics to work the same way. And then third, it's really little stuff, but like the aesthetics of a dash mount and little stuff making it work on the RC8, that's easy stuff. So my background, if you guys didn't know, is I design parts. I'm an engineer, so I actually, make this stuff instead of just trying to buy what works or, get what's readily available and make it fit. Yes, those are ways around these obstacles, but in my opinion, that's not the right way. So because those parts simply don't exist, I'll create them. So a lot of this in this video, episode 4, was actually going to be an airbox video of designing the airbox to prototype, to printing them, test fitting, mocking up, everything's good. I'm gonna show you guys that I have over 30 airboxes in my shop right now. That's how much we've printed. I have over 250 design hours in an airbox, and our issues that we were having is basically because the SUPERDUKE engine sits higher, and then the tank, it has just a perfect cutout for that RC8 airbox. The problem that we were running into is that no matter how much we made it fit, you couldn't make more space between the throttle bodies and the underside of the tank. So what I did, finally to crack the code, is I merged an RC8 airbox and a SUPERDUKE flange so that it fits perfect. I'll go ahead and I'll put pictures right here so you can see.
Well, this is an RC8, isn't it? Oh, those are some SUPERDUKE parts, man. Are those shower injectors? What the hell we got going on here?
And what I'm gonna be doing is once that is finalized, basically the body work and everything on that airbox looks perfect and it's good to go, we'll be able to print those parts. So that way, if you guys are doing this build and this conversion, you can actually buy our airbox kits and the rest of the parts that we're gonna make for it. I'll go over that, follow along so you guys can stay up to date on all that stuff. But in this video, I want you guys to see that behind me, I have a perfect example of an RC8. Now the fairings and stuff might be off of it, but this bike is super clean. It's never been down, nothing. And I actually picked this bike up because it had 3 parts that I really, really want for the RC8, but they do not make anymore. This bike is fully equipped with OHLINS FGK cartridges. It has a TT rear shock, and it has the Acura Evo 1 full system titanium exhaust. So I'm actually gonna be parting this bike out and selling all the parts that I don't need. So hey, if you guys need parts for an RC8, I've got a clean title, clean bike, hit me up on Instagram, shoot me an email, and I'll go ahead and I'll sell that stuff to you cheap just to clear up the shop space. So in this video, I want to show you what we're going to be doing. So I have the motor taken off, as well as I want to show you guys because it's so clean and it looks so pretty. It's still a little wet, but I've gone ahead and I've stripped everything because basically this bike is ready for final assembly. So I didn't want to do all this work and then us have to strip it down again. So basically what I did was off camera, I took the bike completely apart since we're gonna be swapping suspension and stuff anyways. I wanted to take it completely apart, do a thorough cleanup, fine-tooth comb, just wash and do everything. And that way, when we assemble it for the final time, it's done. We don't have to worry about, oh, we gotta take it back out to wash it or clean this. Things that could have been done before, but we need to know, would it fit before? Now we know that it fits, now we know it's gonna work. So I went ahead, I stripped everything, cleaned it perfectly. We have a clean slate. And then what I'm gonna be doing is, in this episode, we're gonna be putting the motor back in. I know you've seen that before. We're gonna be putting the motor back in, and then we're gonna put the airbox on it. We're gonna swap the suspension, just little things. My goal is in 1 month time, literally the next 2-3 episodes, we're gonna be starting this bike and we're gonna be getting it ready. I wanna have that done by the end of the year. That's our big deadline. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so I have the bike up and I have the jack holding the weight so that the swing arm, when the shock's off, it would be able to completely compress and decompress so it stands out of the way. This is the easiest way to take off the rear shock so you can actually lift the rear and pull those bolts out. So now, 2 bolts for the rear shock. Ooh, holy grail part. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up and then we'll throw it on the R. We've got the Öhlins on there now. And now what we're gonna do is we are gonna swap these forks for the Öhlins FGK forks. Now, one thing is the R model has the black feet, the stanchions, whatever you call them, on the bottom of the fork legs. They're black on the R model. And on the non-R model, they're silver. So these are definitely better forks because it's all Öhlins internals now, and they've been tuned by GMD, which is one of the best in the States. So we are gonna be using these forks, but I've made the executive decision that we are going to mask all of this off, clean this very well, and we are going to color match the black to that. And I think once we do that, we can go ahead and get the forks ready for final installation, to where I say we throw on some clip-ons, get the triple tree bolted down how we're supposed to, and get these new forks in here. Got the fork legs masked off. Let's go ahead and hit them with some flat black. As the engine is back in the bike, we got some clip-ons on there. You can't even tell that those aren't factory or the ones that were on it, but now we've got Öhlins front and rear, but we're not ending the video off here. So without further ado, here is the airbox. As you can see, it looks pretty damn OEM, pretty damn factory. We got everything perfect. I don't even know if you guys can see in there, but like our measurements and everything are just so slim. So of course we'll have to modify, some fuel lines, and I'll show you how we overcame that obstacle and how everything will be set up. But I wanted to show you this is basically just a printed prototype part. So instead of having to do like a bunch of airbox designs like this and change shape and kind of reinvent the wheel until we got it right, and spoiler alert, we never really got it right. The tank was always kind of rubbing it, and it was always just not fitting the way it should. So what I ended up doing is I took the flange from the 3rd gen SUPERDUKE, that part that actually mounts, let's see if we can get these off, that actually mounts to the throttle bodies. Nothing's bolted down right now, but what I did was I took that flange that mounts up perfectly to the SUPERDUKE. I cut it out from the stock SUPERDUKE airbox, and then I took the RC8 stock airbox and I cut it out and I made it fit perfect. So I'll take this off and show you what we use to get this part. This is our actual prototype part, and now you'll be able to see here that this thing, some of the hoses are in the way, but this thing just fits money. That is perfect. Now don't mind the white.
This is actually like a talcum powder because I 3D scanned this with our Revo Point scanner. Tried to clean it up a little bit in post and infusion. And that's how we got that printed part, an identical replica of what we built and what we know fits perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is off camera, because I'm not gonna bore you guys with a bunch of sanding and finishing work, I'm actually gonna finish this out to where it's perfectly smooth. This is actually carbon fiber underneath. It's hard to see, but I use a lot of carbon. So I used carbon to merge the two pieces of plastic. So I'm gonna clean that up with filler and everything and really dial this piece in to where it's absolutely perfect. And then once that's done, if you guys wanna do this project yourself, you can order airboxes from us. So that is the airbox. And just to show you, that is our SUPERDUKE / RC8 airbox that the filter fits. That's the OEM RC8 filter. And then here is the OEM RC8 cover. Nothing's bolted down, but guys, it's literally like, if you didn't know what you were looking at, you'd think that this is an RC8. And that's what we were shooting for. You know, it's incredible. I just want to apologize because it took so long to, you know, really put this video out because I just wasn't happy with it. I want to give you guys my best, just like the episodes before, and I want to continue improving so that I can create this content that you guys actually enjoy watching and feel like you can be a part of it too. I'm going to end the video here. Quick recap on what we got done. Everything is spiffy, nice and clean. We now have Ohlins in the rear, Ohlins up front. We got our brand new clip-ons on there, the airbox. We got the fork feet painted, just so much stuff done. What's funny is this started as this is just going to be episode 4 of the airbox video. We did so much more and hardly even talked about the airbox. The airbox obstacle is complete. We no longer have to worry about that hurdle. So now back to our regular scheduled program. So in the next episode, we can forget about this because I'm doing all that sanding and finish work off camera. But in the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to do the headlight bracket, the headlight, the fairing stay. I'm sure we'll do some wiring. Shoot, we'll do the exhaust. We'll do some rear sets. The next video is going to be action-packed with a lot of brand new parts that are going on the bike. So if you guys are enjoying the build and you definitely want to see more content, I promise you it's not going to be longer than a week for the next upload. If you guys want to see more, make sure to subscribe, give it a like on your way out, and we'll see you on the next one.